The Northwest Georgia High School Football Scoreboard is brought to you by Alpha Insurance, Al Smith Agency. See them for all your auto, home, and life insurance needs. Call Al Smith at 706-529-6786.
Hey, welcome into the NWGA football Al Smith High School Football Scoreboard. Friday before the last, the 2023 season. I apologize if my internet acts screwy, but hopefully you can still hear me. But great night of high school football, man. We had some surprising results, some upsets, some champs crowned tonight.
Yeah, Josh Hall. How about them Tigers?
Yeah, back-to-back champions.
Yeah. You was at that game. Tell us how that game went.
Yeah, that's back-to-back champions for the first time in like 20-something years, man, for the Tigers. Yeah, he said give a big shout-out to Jonathan Go and his toughness tonight for sure. He went out second series, the first quarter, man, with a knee injury. Looked pretty bad. Didn't come back in at all in the first half. Tigers had a hard time getting anything going, down 14-7 at halftime. Bremen looked like they were in control, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Go came back out in the second half, though, man. Third quarter, threw a 97-yard touchdown pass and an 86-yard touchdown pass to Trey Winters in the third quarter to put the Tigers up 20-14. Bremen scored with about 2 minutes to go ahead 21-20. Jamarian Pullum had a great return, set the Tigers up at the 50-yard line with about a minute to go. They were facing 4th and 10, got a pass interference call, moved the ball up to the 35, and Jamarian Pullum took it in, around the right side for the game-winning touchdown. A huge night, man. Great, probably one of the best high school football games I've seen this year for sure.
Well, it sounded like it was close the whole time, close the whole game.
The whole time, man. Hard hitting, too. I mean, those guys, I know they're all going to be sore tomorrow. At least they have clinched their playoff spots, man. They can rest up a little bit before playoffs because, man, they're out there killing each other tonight. Yeah. Well done tonight, man.
Thank you.
On the cup.
Thank you. Yeah, I was at the Chattooga-Coosa game, and it was a close game. Chattooga received the opening kickoff, first play of the game. They threw a tunnel screen to the left, and the guy come unblocked. I mean, he just looked like he knew the play was going to happen. I don't know how he did, but stepped right in front of it, double called it. You know how somebody will catch it and then kind of fly up in the air, and then they catch it again, scored a touchdown. We were less than 20 seconds in the game. It was 7-0 Coosa. And then Coosa never sniffed the end zone again for the rest of the game. They did hit a 42-yard field goal or somewhere around 42 and had 10 points. Still ends up winning 16-10. There was a, you hate it for the kid, you hate it for the team, but, they were in a panic, kind of in a hurry, time running down, and, they accidentally spiked the ball on 4th down. And the only thing I could come up with in the booth at that point was when Reggie Ball threw it out of the back of the end zone on 4th down for Georgia Tech. And obviously I'm a Georgia fan. And Matthew Daniel there, he knows exactly about that Reggie Ball play. He probably got a kick out of that one if you heard me say that.
I know Tia's bored tonight, man. Bowden off this weekend. I guess they'll play Mount Zion next weekend for what's technically the region championship, I guess.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
Yeah. This, I have to look at this one, man. Did Cass eliminate Calhoun tonight? Just off the top of my head, I'd say yes, because I think Cass and Calhoun are tied with 3 losses in the region, right?
Brooks Carter says Calhoun will miss the playoff first time since '99, and that's what we were talking about tonight on the show. That's newsworthy. That's crazy.
I mean, great job by the Colonels for sure, man. What put 54 points on them tonight?
Cartersville Hurricanes down 21-7 at one point, and come all the way back to 42-21 win over Dalton. Early in the game, I thought, man, I done jinxed Cartersville again. Dalton's about to pull it. So it was a tough game. You want to go ahead.
Shout out to Dade County, man, pulling off the win at Purple tonight. What was it, 26-15 final score? Sets up a game next Friday night. If Dade wins, they'll host a playoff game. Had over 300 yards tonight on the ground. Huge win for Coach Post and those fellas. Yeah, congratulations to Chattooga and Coach Gable. Congratulations to Daresville and Cartersville wrapping up region titles. And a great job by Benton on the call me tonight, man. A lot of fun.
Oh boy.
What do you think about that play-by-play, man? You like it? You enjoy it?
I do enjoy it. It comes natural, pretty natural. Let's jump in the scoreboard right here and let everybody that's on here know all the scores, and we'll talk about it as it goes. Paulding County, the last we had was a late fourth quarter score, 28-0 over Alexander. Langston Hughes beats South Paulding 42-10. Rome just keeps rolling with a 55-19 win. I'm pretty sure it was 55-0 at one point, or at least really bad. East Paulding, East Paulding with a big 38-14 win over New Manchester. As we said, we believe Calhoun was eliminated by Cass. A 52-19 win, big win by Cass. That should put them in the driver's seat for a playoff spot. Cartersville with a comeback win, 42-21 over Dalton. Billerica loses in overtime to Jackson, 32-26. Hiram up late on 27-0 is the last we had on the Hiram Woodland. Heritage in a close one over Sonoraville, 22-19. Cedartown beat Southeast 49-0. Central with a 42-20 win over Northwest Whitfield. That pretty much locks up their region title there for Central. Daresville was down some of the game, but like Lawrence said, Daresville will come back. 28-21, a Daresville win. Gordon Lee beats Ridgeland 20-9. Lumpkin in a close one over Dawson County, 34-23. Ringo 20, Lakeview 10. Cahulla Creek pulls away from Lafayette and wins 48-9. What a job Cahulla Creek's done after kind of an upset loss to Chattooga early in the year, and they've been putting the points up. Pickens, speaking of upset wins and losses, 39-37 over White County. Rockmart defeats Fannin. Was this Thursday night, Lawrence?
Yeah.
48-14 on Thursday night. Harrelson beats Murray County 55-24. Motto with a 35-0 win over Gordon Central. Christian Heritage outlasts Mount Zion in overtime, 35-28. Trine, man, the Dogs put it on the Indians 55-7. Dade County makes the trek over to Lindale and comes back with a 26-15 win. And that pretty much ensures that next week Trine and Darlington is for the region title, correct?
Trying Darlington for a region title, yep.
I think Darlington is in one of those situations where if they win, they're the 1 seed. If they lose, they're the 4 seed. That's wild.
I'm going to pull up the standings here for some of the
we'll have to do some digging on that. There's a lot of tiebreakers, stuff like that. But Coosa takes a 16-10 loss at Chattooga, and then the last one, Heard County wins over Temple 43-29.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the only game I know for sure next week, right off the top of my head, that means something is Haralson County hosting Fannin County. We know that's for the 4 seed in 7-2A. That is a win or go home game for those guys. I'm looking here at 7-4A if Heritage were to beat Central next week, that would create a 3-way tie for first. That's assuming Cedartown beats Northwest. Of course, we're gonna pretend like they do.
Yeah,
So
nothing nothing against Heritage, but I just don't think they're going to beat Central.
Central beat Cedartown by 14. Cedartown beat Heritage by 12. So yeah, they're going to have to beat them by a couple of touchdowns to win the tiebreaker anyway. So I think pretty much it's going to finish Central, Cedartown, Heritage, Northwest in that region. Let me double check that 6 AAA and see if Ringgold still has a chance to get in there.
I'm looking at the 7A right now. Trine's the only undefeated team, so I think first or second is likely for them. Darlington's 4-1, 2 3-2 teams, and I think Armurchie could still get in with a win next week. Is it Dade at Armurchie?
Armurchie at Dade.
Armurchie at Dade.
Yeah.
And that would make, if Armurchie was to win, that would make them both 3-3. Pepperell has Coosa next week, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Pepperell has Coosa.
So Pepperell will most likely move to 4-2. So yeah, that would mean a lot next week. Dade at Armurchie. Winners in, losers out. Is that the way it looks?
Yeah, if Trine beats,
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if Trine beats Darlington, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, and if Trine beats Darlington and Dade wins, Dade's the 2 seed, correct?
Yep, correct.
And then that would make that'd put a tiebreaker. Let's see, what would that do with Darlington? That would make them 4-2, and that would you would assume Pepperell would go to the 4-2. Pepperell has the tiebreaker, so yeah, Darlington would be the 4 seed in that case.
Shout out to Keith Collins from Cahulla Creek. He set a new single game school record for receiving yards tonight. 7 catches for 166 and a touchdown.
That's a new name to me. I haven't heard that name. That's one to look out for. Keith Collins.
Speaking of names to look out for, man, Trey Winters at Adairsville tonight. 6'4" junior, 5 catches, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns. Had a 97-yard touchdown and an 86-yard touchdown catch. Going to be a name to watch next year for sure.
Gotcha.
It looks like next week, man, if Cahulla Creek loses to Adairsville and Ringgold beats Gordon Lee, there'll be a 3-way tie for the last 2 spots in 6 AAA.
Good luck.
I don't know how that would play out.
Yeah. Very carefully.
Yeah. So interesting. So yeah, that Ringgold Gordon Lee game means something next Friday night.
Of course, we talked about this from the Fannin and Harrelson game. That's tighten up your chin strap.
Yeah, I think Harrelson's sitting at 2-7 right now. They got a chance to get in the playoffs at 3-7. And you got to give them a shout out tonight, man. They put 55 points on the board. I don't think anybody saw that coming. We talked about how good their defense was all year, and
excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pulling up their schedule here. Yeah, 2-7. Played a tough schedule though. Had Bremen, Rayburn, Mary Parsons, Upson Lee. Played North Murray close. Played Model close, 14-0.
Yeah.
Respectable scores here.
I might be wrong, man, but just looking at the 6 AAA, If I'm wrong, somebody let me know. Brooks Carter probably knows the answer to this, but if Color Creek loses to Adairsville and Ringgold beats Gordon Lee, it looks like Gordon Lee is the odd man out as far as tiebreaker goes. What's up, Stanley? You guys played a heck of a game last night, man. You guys are on a roll. I was kind of worried about you guys at halftime, but
got it going.
Yeah, that quarterback y'all have in there right now, man, he's playing. I thought he was a sophomore, but he's a senior. Just took him a few years to get going, I guess.
Any prospective matchups that we've been able to check out in, or do you think might be coming in the first round of the playoffs that we can chat about?
Yeah, I guess now the way 7-5A pans out, it's Cartersville, Hiram, Dalton, and Cass will be your order. So that means Cass will go to the winner of the GAC Kale game, and Dalton will go to the loser of that game. So you could have Dalton Kale in the first round.
Ugh. All those teams are their season completed.
Yeah, they're off next week. There's a lot of teams on bye. Week 12. Jake Keller says, what do you guys think is up with Ridgeland? 29-game losing streak now, not to bash them, but they used to be really good and played for a state championship in the early 2010s.
I just think it's a cycle of and whether it be just kids not playing football or just not quite as much talent. Now, I did think they were improved this year over previous teams. It's just when you get in a lull like that, it's hard, it's real hard to get over the hump, you know. And until they get over the hump and win a few games, I just don't know if they're going to get a lot of players wanting to go there. I mean, they're right there next to Chattanooga and, you know, Lakeview. I feel like Lakeview's taking some of their players too, which is, you know, Lakeview's been improved as well. So I don't know.
I mean, you know, you said they played a couple of games well this year. You know, they almost beat Bremen, only down by 7 to Bremen. They played Gordon Lee tough tonight, man. They're just right there on the cusp of winning some games. Yeah,
we really thought that they would have that kind of that breakout game and then clip somebody, and it just never panned out.
Brooks says he don't know if the tie break is overall point differential across the entire region or if it's only among the 3 tied teams. We'll get more clarification this weekend. Brooks, you guys in the Colts can make it easy and just win next Friday night. You guys win it. If you guys win next Friday, it clears everything up. Whoever was Gordon Lee, Ringgold is the 4 seed.
I like it. He says, just win, baby.
Just win. And we know Rome's clinched the 1 seed. How about the Rome Wolves, man? Let's give them another shout out.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's going to be exciting to see who they line up against.
Yeah, they were ranked 13th by Cal Preps in Class 6A tonight.
That is.
And Rome absolutely
way underranked.
No, I'm talking about Creekview.
Oh,
13th.
Creekview.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and they come out and we're up 42-0 halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I know they play Sprayberry first round, I believe, here at Barron Stadium. But then the big one is week 2, Langston Hughes. Go ahead, just get the Langston Hughes out of the way right from the start. Yeah, Brooks. I was thinking the same thing, man. They got banged up pretty good tonight too, so they might be trying to heal up a little bit for playoffs, man, because they took a beating tonight. Came out on top.
They're not wanting to take a L though. I'm gonna tell you that. And would it be? It would probably be a coin toss type deal, right? Langston Hughes. No, Langston Hughes would have to travel because they're 2 seed.
Travel. Yeah, they're 2 seed.
Man, I know where I might be week 2.
Yeah, Barron Stadium will be rocking, man.
Man, I'm gonna have to see what old Langston Hughes looks like here.
What did we decide would happen if Darlington won 7A?
Trying to be the 2. Day 3, Pepper 4, right?
Yep. Yeah, that has to be the game of the week right now. Just looking at the schedule for next Friday night, Darlington and Trine for the 7A D1 region title.
And Trine has a lot of. They got revenge on their minds after getting it put to them pretty good at Darlington last year. So, just I was looking at Massey, and Massey has Langston Hughes favored by 6 over Rome.
That sounds about right. I think it's going to be a touchdown one way or another. I don't see a blowout in that game. Not the way the Rome defense is playing right now.
I think my butt will have to be in the seat for that game.
Or standing along the fence, man. If you don't get there early enough,
something. Yeah, maybe we can get a sideline pass.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I want to apologize to that ref tonight, man. I ran into.
When I was on the air tonight, I know at one point I said I'm not too sure about that call. I can tell you that if I was on the sideline, I would be hollering at that specific referee, but I'm not, so I won't. I felt like there might have been one ref that was just. I mean, he was. I'm surprised he don't have to go home and ice his rotator cuff as much throwing of flags that he did tonight. Anyway,
were they all throwing the pink flags at your game?
No, they was all yellow because they was. I would have remembered if it was pink because they were all over the field.
Yeah, I get confused with them pink flags. And pink flags start flying, man. I don't know what's going on. Carrollton plays Harrison first round. Central later play Hateville Charter Holy Innocents. Man, that's a tough draw, really, because I mean, really, as far as like power rankings go, Holy Innocents is the number 1 team in that region. They must have had a couple of tough losses. Because I know one time they were ranked in the top 10.
Yeah, we'll have to after next week. We'll have to put a playoff show together. We'll have to get everybody to check out the playoff show. I'm sure we'll go through all the matchups and make predictions like we always do.
Yeah, I know this isn't a Northeast Georgia football show, man, but who won that Commerce game tonight?
Commerce
and Rabun County.
I pulled it up, and I think Commerce did. Let me double check, but I'm almost certain that I seen Commerce had won that game over Rabun County. And yes, 23-17 in overtime.
Wow. Yeah, I think that ends Rabun County's 8-year streak of region titles and actually puts them on the road first round of the playoffs.
Wow.
They're the 3 seed. It'll be Commerce, Elbert, and Rabun.
Yes, sir. 1 and 2 in the region. And, Commerce, I've talked to a few people who said they've got a squad this year. And it could be interesting to see them in the playoffs.
How does a 6A D1 look? That's who 7A matches up with, the private school region. Either am I caught up or has been
you
caught
left
up?
Me for a second.
Okay.
You left me for a second.
Yeah, everything got hung up there for a moment.
6A D1, you said, right?
6A D1, yep.
Is that the region with like Mount Vernon and St. Francis and such?
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. 6A D1. They've only played one region game. How is that so? Let me go back. All right. Let's see. Okay, no scores been. Um. None of the scores have been put in, but as of starting today, Mount Vernon was number 1 seed. They're 6-2. St. Francis is 1-6 coming into the night. Mount Pisgah and Kings Ridge was both 3-5, 3-5 and 3. And I guess they hadn't had some score reports. So Kings Ridge and Mount Pisgah will be your last two, and Mount Vernon and St. Francis. To me, it looks like winnable games. And the 2 seed St. Francis in the region right now is 1-6. I don't really know how that one's going to pan out because they hadn't got everything updated on Max Preps. But St. Francis gave up 264 and scored 90. Mount Pisgah gave up 278 and scored 95. Kings Ridge gave up 136 and scored 86. Now Mount Vernon gave up 179, but they have scored 284 in 8 games.
Adairsville will play the loser of next week's Gilmer County White County game. White County taking the loss tonight to Pickens. Makes that game important for Gilmer and White County next week.
So they play the loser. I would imagine at this point you'd probably see White County losing that game. I think Gilmer's been up and down, but I think they're a pretty good team. 3-way tie. What we got?
All right. He just heard 3-way tie between Coahulla, Ringgold, and Gordon Lee would go as follows. If Ringgold wins by less than a touchdown, it's Coahulla and Ringgold. If Ringgold wins by less than a touchdown.
What if Ringo wins by more than a touchdown?
Yeah, it seems like if Ringo wins by more than a touchdown, it'd be maybe he meant Coahulla and Gordon Lee. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe.
Yeah, it'll come out in the wash.
Oh, okay. If Ringo wins by more than a touchdown, then it's Ringgold and Gordon Lee, and Coahulla is out.
Wow. So
Ringo wins, they're in no matter what.
Yeah, and if Ringo wins by less, then Coahulla's in. But if Ringo wins by more, Gordon Lee's in. Coahulla is out.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. And Ringo plays
Gordon Lee.
Gordon Lee?
Gordon Lee.
Wow. Because Gordon Lee wins by more than a touchdown. It's Ringo, Gordon. So you're telling me that if Gordon Lee lets Ringo beat him by more than a touchdown, they're in the playoffs?
Yep. Huh.
And what happens if Gordon? I mean, what happens if Gordon Lee wins the game?
Then it's Gordon Lee and Coahulla. Because then there won't be a 3-way tie; it'll just be a 2-way tie. So if I was Coahulla Creek fans, I'd be heading over to Chickamauga tonight and like buying pizzas for everybody. You know.
So the only way, Gordon Lee, the only way they're left out is if they win by less than a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm either winning the game,
or I'm down by 6 with I'm down by 6 with a minute to go, and man, I just miss every tackle.
Let them score.
I throw a pick.
I've never seen that. How in the world could it be set up to where a team would want somebody else to score to allow them to make the playoffs? That seems like that should never happen. Yeah. That's just, I don't know. I don't understand how that would ever be the case, but it sounds like it is in this particular.
Be curious, man, if it comes down to a 6-point game with 30 seconds to go next Friday night. I'd love to see Gordon Lee's play calling. Somebody
better start stealing some signs for that reason. He said, as a Michigan fan, I know a guy. I don't know. It could get ugly up there. I'm hearing that they obviously they know who it is and they've got evidence of him filming on his cell phone, like filming stuff. I don't know.
What do
That's
you what
crazy.
do what do you think about that? I know this is a high school show, but what is your opinion on that?
All right, look, just regular old sign stealing as far as like during the game on the sign. It happens all the time. I mean, you're trying to pick up on somebody else's sign. You may have somebody. I'm sure in college they have somebody that's designated for that. But from what I understand, like this this guy or somebody was standing next to the play caller and like letting them know, or like if there was a play called or something, like they were pointing up if it was a pass and pointing down if it was this or that. I mean, look, I've heard of ball boys being paid on the opposing sideline, paid off to if it's a run, hold the ball in the right hand. If it's a pass, hold the ball in the left hand. That type of stuff. But I mean, just buying tickets and going to these different games to video what's going on to try to break down what I mean. I don't know. That's a little outlandish to me, and.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Tia here, man. It's part of the game. If you don't want your signs stolen, you better change them every week.
Yeah.
If you're coming out every week with the same signs, eventually somebody's gonna get you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, people been doing it ever since people started making signs. If you don't
Right.
want your sign stole, then you know, run your receiver over the sideline and whisper him to play, and then you know, don't have no signs on the sideline. I don't know. I've seen people. When I was in high school, we used play cards. You would
Right.
look down at the number, and there would be duplicates. Number one, number 27, number 43, and number 79 would all be the same play, but they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They would be duplicates, so you wouldn't just tip off, "Hey, we're running play 9 again." But I watched a special on like Peyton Manning. A lot of that jargon that he used to say is just bluffs, you know.
Hmm.
And the Omaha was basically, you heard him say that all the time. That was basically just, time's running out, hurry up. Like if it was on 2, then that just changed it to first sound or on 1 or whatever. And then anytime he would mention any kind of flavored ice cream, like if he would say chocolate or vanilla or anything like that, that basically means whatever after that word, that key word that I say, it means nothing. He's just BS.
How
He
about
he
how
might
about the big offensive lineman trying to keep up with all that, man? You're tired.
well,
You've been
it
playing
was
three
an
and a half
offensive
quarters.
lineman who was telling the story, and he said basically, when you hear that key word, that whatever, chocolate or vanilla, or if you heard that, or if you heard the word ice cream or anything, you just basically stopped listening after that because you knew all the rest of it was a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But anyway, it's pretty funny. It was pretty interesting to watch. Oh God, Kevin says that makes as much sense as a fourth down spot. Dang, that one's tough. I know Kevin was there for that. I mean, I don't know if he was there, but I know he was watching when the dude from Georgia Tech threw it out of the end zone that time. I'm sure my man RJ probably he remembers that. He's a Georgia Tech guy.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I guess we'll wrap it up, man. I'm about to fall asleep over here.
don't fall asleep. You listen to me talk, you're falling asleep. You want to run
But
through the scores one more time, and then we'll
yeah,
get
yeah,
off.
yeah.
Well, I guess we can run through the scores if they'll pop up. There we go. They're invisible. Present, share screen, window. There we go. You got them this time, or you want me to get them?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right. Paulding County beats Alexander, or this was a fourth quarter score. Some reason it is a very hard to get any kind of Paulding County scores up here. 28-0 over Alexander. Well, I do know that Langston Hughes beat South Paulding 42-10. Rome keeps rolling over Creekview 55-19. East Paulding 38, New Manchester 14. Cass eliminates Calhoun from the playoff for the first time since 1999, 52-29 over Calhoun. Carsville comes back and beats Dalton, excuse me, 42-21. Cartersville beats Dalton. Villarica, which is the next team, loses in overtime to Jackson 32-26. Hiram beats Woodland 27-0. Heritage with a 22-19 win over Sonoraville. Cedartown beats Southeast Woodfield 49-0. Central basically clinches the region title there with a 42-20 win over Northwest Woodfield. Adairsville also clinches the region title with a 28-21 win over Bremen. Gordon Lee stays in the playoff hunt with a 20-9 win over Ridgeland. Lumpkin County, I think they've had that region sewed up, 34-23 over Dawson. Ringo stays alive with a 20-10 win over Lakeview. That game is closer than most people would expect there. Cahola Creek hangs in there and put some points up on Lafayette, 48-9. Pickens with the upset win over White County, 39-37. Rockmart on Thursday night defeated Fannin County 48-14. Haralson County defeats Murray County 55-24. Model blank scored in Central 35-0 on the blue turf. Christian Heritage, that is, defeats Mount Zion 35-28 in overtime. Trine with a 55-7 win over Armurchie. Dade goes on the road and beats Pepperell 26-15. Chattooga beats Coosa 16-10 in a close one there at in Somerville. Heard County 43, Temple 29. Some of the big games that we're looking like next week to have a lot of playoff potential or playoff. We'll change the playoff orders a lot. Trine will be hosting Darlington this year in the last week of the season. That's for your number one spot. Dade will be on the road at Armurchie. That's if Dade wins and Trine wins, then Dade gets the 2 seed. If that happens, then Darlington will drop all the way down to the 4 seed, which is totally weird, but everybody's kind of right there neck and neck, so that's how that would happen. Some of the other games, let's see here. Pretty much everybody else has decided. What was some of the other games that you brought up?
Gordon Lee and Ringgold's an interesting game now.
Yeah, Gordon Lee and Ringgold, because there's all kind of different. I mean, if they score this or they win this or they do that, I mean, it's just go back on the notes here and our man Brooks Carter, he spells it out pretty good how that tiebreaker works, and neither one of us understand that. So anyway,
yeah. And Haralson County and Fannin for the 4 seed in 7-2A.
Yep, for the 4 seed there, Haralson County and Fannin, and let's see here. I think that's about it.
Bowden and Mount Zion for the championship. If Mount Zion beats Bowden, that'll be a 3-way. For Tia, I mentioned that one for Tia. Tia said Mount Zion is on the clock. What clock are they on?
Oh, it's a countdown clock, that's for sure.
I'll tell you what, man, getting the 1 seed in that region, super important because the teams in the other region they play are 1, 2, and 3 in the state.
Yeah, I totally agree with the last statement. Why not just put it in the headset like the NFL does? You give them so long on the play clock to talk to them in their headset. I mean, just do that. I don't have a problem with that. Do you?
No, not at all.
especially as much time as I feel like they're taking away from football. Man, I really think, I don't know if it technically is making a big bunch of difference, but the clock rules to me have changed college football. I mean, you can basically just milk that thing now.
Yeah. It's a pretty scary sign
Anyway.
when you see. It's a pretty scary sign when you see the defending state champions are hungry. You know.
Oh, they're definitely hungry, and I believe it. I believe every second of it. And they're about to go on a run.
All right, guys. We'll see everybody back on Wednesday for the Pick'em show. If we don't see you before then, like I said, we'll get all this playoff stuff worked out and get it all squared away. So next time we're on here, we'll know what we're talking about. All right, man. We'll see you. Yeah.
All right. We'll see you.